As you can see about the outline of my speech, I'm very pleased to see that the European position and the position of the BRICS countries, as far as we heard them, are to a large part converging, and in what is the analysis of the crisis, the Ukrainian crisis, and I hope we can also come to converging conclusions. I would like to recall the history of the EU-Russia relationships, especially after German reunification, which is a line of, there's no other word for it, broken promises, what the Western alliance promised to Russia after German reunification, in which Gorbachev at the time had said that he would not accept any further enlargement to the east of the NATO, and NATO just ignored it. And this is that was a huge treason. I may not have the right word in English. That was, as I have said before, a broken promise, and Russia has been very patient with the Western, and now the U.S. and helped by the EU just overstepped its line of. I think I totally agree with my Russian colleague who pointed out that it's absolutely unacceptable that Russia should be blamed for the provocation of the crisis. I think it's much more a EU and United States provoked crisis, because after having first the NATO right into the former territory of the Soviet Republic, it tried to enlarge the NATO even beyond what was achieved so far into Ukraine, and they don't even stop there. They're trying to push further onto to Georgia. So this is a further thing that should be prevented from a European point of view. We should not accept, the civil society in Europe should not accept that we should try to enlarge the association treaties with any former Soviet republic. What we have to do is we have to build a collective security system with the European Union and Russia, and from there reach out to all the BRICS countries, which also, of course, should not just be a security system, but also a trade zone system. I use the word facilitated trade zones, because the free trade zones causes many problems of joint regulations, which basically very often boils down to just having no regulations whatsoever, which we have seen in the last years just very often fail the goals of such trade zones. Any further enlargement of the association treaties with the former Soviet Republic have to be done in a tripartite system, which means we should get Russia, the European Union, and this former Soviet Republic, who would eventually possibly would like to join one of those association treaties on one table. I think this is the essential conclusion we should draw from here. No enlargement of NATO. Further on, no enlargement of EU association treaties, except when accepted and negotiated together with Russia. And in order to get this very pragmatic, we should try to get Russia to a closer cooperation with the Schengen system. We have this problem that the European Union is trying to seal off its borders towards Russia, and we should just do the other way around. We should try to prove that it's possible to cooperate with Russia by showing that a free visa and travel arrangement is absolutely possible. I think the overall conclusion, the geopolitical conclusion of this crisis is that the U.S. has overstepped its power. The crisis is more of a sign of the U.S., of the American decline than anything else, and we should, as the EU, try to balance that between the U.S. and the BRICS countries in Russia, in order to avoid that there is going to be a sort of new iron curtain coming down, but this time it would be between the Western Alliance and the BRICS countries, and that would be devastating for the European Union and its future and for the world in general. Thank you very much.